to the Local Talk program right here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Nextdoor Radio app. My good friend, Mr. Gary Daeke, joins us here by way of our phone line here this morning. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, Trey. It's always good to talk to you.
Oh, likewise. It's been so long. We feel like I haven't seen you in literally since March, because that's how it's been. But so good to hear from you. How's the family? How's life treating you there in Henderson?
Things are going really well. Family's good. Henderson's growing, and the weather has gotten better. It's gotten cooler.
Yes.
So all the
exactly
good things
right.
are coming together.
Absolutely love it. So look, before we kind of dive deep into some great things we have for today, let's kind of introduce you as only you could, if that's okay.
Well, boy, put a guy on the spot.
All the different activities and adventures that you have going on over there in Henderson.
Well, right now, as a Henderson City Councilman, we're really busy on a lot of projects within the city. We've got a couple of areas we've called urban redevelopment areas. We've designated as areas that we're laying out the future of housing in two different sections of town, and we're setting up public-private partnerships so that we can go in and redesign neighborhoods, continue to take down older homes, dilapidated homes, and of course put back better housing for people. That's pretty darn exciting. We are finishing up our pavilion downtown. We're very close to getting that, so we'll have a place for outdoor entertainment. We're working on a future fire station, which is going to be, because we're growing more towards the west, towards the interstate, and we need to look at our response times and our ability to get to some of the new growth that's happening in that area. And then some wonderful things happening downtown. Of course, you and I spent a lot of time downtown and getting a coffee a lot of mornings and checking out things. We have a new a boutique, a Nelarue's boutique just opened. And of course, one of the biggest projects we just finished up was our doubling of our water treatment facility called Regional Water Treatment, which affects all of us in this area. We've got everything in place to put some shovels in the ground here probably by the first of the year so we can double the output of that plant. And then my next project that I'm working on, I'm really excited about this S-Line. It's going to bring carrier and passenger rail service to Henderson again, and that's going to be a very, very exciting project. Game changer.
That's exactly right. I love that you say that again. Gary Daeke joins us here by way of our phone line here, part of our Local Talk program. And let's kind of dive deep into that S-Line transit that will be coming. Talk a little bit more about it. If this is the first time that our listeners have heard anything about this, kind of dive deep into it and explain a little bit more.
Well, I'll do the best I can. You know, it's a complicated project. As local city council, I'm learning about it every day. But the S-Line is a portion of the old Seaboard line that had been closed for some years, basically from in Virginia near Petersburg all the way south. I'm not sure exactly how far. I know the section we're looking at opening up now would be from Petersburg to Sanford, North Carolina. So the idea is to bring a carrier service that would be making stops in towns along the way for people to travel up and down the Southeast Corridor. The Southeast Corridor is a corridor that runs, from Washington down to Miami, I think. And, of course, that's one section there that's been closed for some time, and that's the section that's being opened up. Henderson will be a stop on that, and that's why we're so excited. We're looking at having carrier service, train service come through our town again. And as people probably know, Henderson 200 plus years ago started because the train came to this area, and it came where everybody brought goods and services to move things. So now we're going to have a carrier service back in town again. So that's pretty darn exciting. So
talk a little bit about it. The fact that it's going to be not only great for of course, Henderson, of course, Vance County, but where is that, now you got to do some renovating, you got to do some things to get everything ready. Where's that money coming from?
Well, so far some of the infrastructure money at federal level has come down to purchase that section of line. I think it's old CSX and Seaboard line, and that's been done. And then, of course, now the Department of Transportation at state level has been doing a lot of work to get us and all the towns along the way working together on this. That's what I think makes this project pretty exciting, is that, sometimes we're all competing for something along the way. This is a chance for everywhere from North Carolina, Henderson, Franklinton, Wake Forest, Raleigh, all the way down to Apex and Sanford to be working together to put together a project that will, help each community. So it's one of the first grants we all had to commit. Each town had to commit a certain amount of money towards the grant itself, and we just got what's called a RAISE grant. and I won't try to explain what what the acronym means, but it was $3.6 million to continue the study of along the line, and part of the study we're at now is helping each town look at the design of a train station as well as the technical aspects of that. A lot of that being engineering to make sure what we decide to build where or utilize will meet the needs for the train to stop and for people to get on and off. So Henderson committed $190,000 to this, but all the towns along the way committed to it and was successful in getting the RAISE grant, which then allows us to keep moving forward on planning for this.
I can't imagine. Again, of course, Gary Daeke joins us here by way of our phone line here, part of our local talk program here on Next Door Radio. Make sure to download the app, available by the Google and Apple stores. I can't imagine a lot of people pushing back on something like this that can affect Vance County in a great way.
Oh, this is really, really exciting because what we've been asked to do is be a part of what's called a TOD planning study. That one I can tell you. It means transit-oriented development. And the reason I'm excited about that, because I love to see planning that's done well and it's done regionally. They're asking us not only look at, and we can talk about in a minute, a train station, where we would put that, how people would get on and off a train in Henderson, but they've asked us to back up and look miles around and how it will change your economy if you are a hub for transportation for people to come and go from a train. For example, somebody can live 20 miles away and decide to drive in Henderson, park a car, hop on the train and maybe go to Raleigh for the day or go further south for several days. So it will be a hub for people to access something that can carry them north and south quite a ways. And we think the development that'll come around that. We're also looking at how people will get in other than just car. Is it bike paths? Is it or bike trails along the roads, widen some of our streets, trying to make sure that people have places to park and that sort of thing. There's a lot of study going on around it. And then, of course, as it grows, they want to know that you have housing within that area. So that falls within this urban redevelopment plan we're doing. They want to know that the downtown can support it. And as you know, our downtown development commission is very active in getting new businesses and restaurants, and we have apartments downtown. So we have a lot of nice things in place and things that were being done that fit in line with this transit-oriented development they're asking us to start to plan for.
So Gary Daeke joins us here by way of our phone line and local talk, talking about the brand new S-Line that will be traveling through Henderson in Vance County. So what are the stages? How are we looking? You had the meeting, you had the kind of the stakeholder meetings, interviews and things like that. What are the stages to kind of get to the final, hey, we're going to build this, and now it's operating?
Yeah, well, I think we've gone through, some of the stages was a readiness report. They were coming along, looking at seeing if we had things in place to do this. I think they interviewed people in our community and had a couple of meetings where the public was invited. I think there's some market study and some vision summaries and some other pieces of the whole plan being put together. But where our last stop was, which was real exciting, we had a group come to Henderson. They were from the railroad, DOT, and some of our local staff, and they came and looked at where we would like the station to be, and we'd like it to be the old bank building downtown. That's been vacant for some years, and it's a magnificent facility. I'm sure you know where it is.
Oh,
a big stone structure at the very top of the hill right in the middle of downtown Henderson.
Yes, sir.
We would love to bring that back to life. And we think it would be just an audacious place to walk into with a 30-foot high ceilings and stained glass ceiling, et cetera, to enter as a train station. So we're looking at trying to use that. And the folks came and looked at the building. We looked around the back, the sides. I mean, the whole block is studied because there's some underpasses and things that have to be done to some of the cross streets because the trains, can't be stopping a lot. So there's a lot of engineering to be done. But the exciting part was when they came and spent an hour recently and looked at a lot of facets. They walked away saying they thought that building could be done.
Awesome.
It could be used. And that was what we said, awesome, because we'd love to see it put to that use. So really good news so far from the technical aspects and the early engineering on possibly using the old bank building downtown as our train station.
Hey, revitalizing downtown there in Henderson and Vance County. I absolutely love it. And Gary Daeke joins us here by way of our phone line, a part of our local talk program and Next Door. Anything else? Now, is there any meetings or anything like that our listeners can attend, or just to get excited about a train station coming to Vance County?
Well, I don't know that we have any set up, at least that I'm aware of. I am one of the appointees from our council. Jason Spriggs, also Councilman Spriggs, has been appointed for the TOD study from Henderson. So the last meeting we actually had one this Tuesday where everybody ran to Sanford, where they announced the RAISE grant had been gotten and the money was going to be available so that we would continue to move on the fast track. So that was the last piece that we've heard of, and they'll follow up with us on our train stations, technical aspects. Again, the bank bill is not set in stone as the place to be. It's what we would like to do and what we're having them look at so far. So I think our next step is they'll be back here shortly talking about some of the aspects of that building. And there's just so much planning has to be done. And but we know now that it's on a fast track. There are funds to continue to move on and keep planning for this. So
Love it.
We're hoping that we're on about a 5-year program here is what we're saying to get this thing in place, and where we can all walk downtown here in Henderson one day and just step over to a train and maybe head to Raleigh for the day to go to a museum or something.
That's
just
right.
Have a day and then come back. So we're real excited about it, and I think we're going to continue to plan for success on this.
Exciting things, a new adventure there in Vance County. It's always a great thing to kind of get things moving in the right direction. Of course, Gary Daeke joins us here by way of our phone line on our local talk program. Now let's kind of kick off the Duck Derby race we have coming up. Of course, if you're not aware, this is going. This is the what? How many years have you got? 13th.
13th. I cannot believe it's already.
Have you been there the whole time?
I have. That was one of my crazy ideas to start a rubber duck race down the middle of Main Street. We were laughing this morning. There were some folks who were buying tickets from me. You know, I'm always selling tickets. And, of course, people can call us. We'll be glad to do that or go on our webpage. We'll tell you in a minute. You can purchase them there. But I was telling them how when I came up with the idea, I figured we could flood the streets and we could get a little river of water going down here, these high granite curbs we have. You know, how do you introduce, a couple of thousand ducks into the water quickly? You just don't want to do them slowly. You want to have a barrage. And so I saw a cement mixer one morning pouring. That was a driveway, and I thought, wow, cement mixer would work. And called my friend John down at Greystone Concrete. And of course, if people know me, I always jump in without thinking real quickly. I asked John, can you pour ducks from a cement mixer? And he thought I was crazy because, of course, he thought I meant real ducks. And then when I finally explained, oh, no, I mean rubber ducks, his answer was, we can pour anything. So that ought to be Greystone Quarry's motto or mission statement. We can pour anything. So we have them come downtown and we sell rubber ducks, $5 a duck. And people can get a duck in the race, and we put them in a cement mixer with 1,000 gallons of water and spin it around for a few minutes, and then we pour them into the river we've created right on Garnet Street, and they go a couple of blocks. And then, of course, we have prizes. The first place duck is $1,000 duck. The second place, we call it Chick-fil-A for a year. It's 52 of the number one meal tickets, which is pretty darn exciting. We have a lot of people really love that prize. Mm-hmm. Third place is a $250 Sheets gift card, and even the last duck. We're going to get them all across the line. So we've made the very last duck crosses the line a $100 duck. So the prize is to be won. We have a street festival with it, with lots of activities and fun things for families to do. So that's coming up Saturday, September 17th from 11 to 2. And having a good weather day, bring your kids out, have some fun, something to eat. There'll be fun and games, entertainment, music, and then at 2:00 we'll be pouring a lot of rubber ducks down Garnet Street in Henderson. We have a wonderful time when we do it.
I've had a good time the last couple of years being a part of that, doing either a live stream or by way of radio.
Yes.
Now it's fun and games to get the ducks outside of the cement truck and waiting at the finish line. Of course, the great prizes. But why do you do all this on this September 17th? People want to know, why do you put ducks inside of a cement and roll it down the street?
Well, that's a pretty good question. But if we were looking at originally to do this, and some people do it in other areas, nobody does it like us. Most people pull them, drop them off a bridge into a river, or they put them into a creek or a stream. And of course, that makes a lot of sense. We just didn't have that right in this area, so we created our own.
No, that's not cool.
That's not. Yeah, and this is. I think we're probably one of the few, if maybe the only ones that are around. I can't find anybody else that's pouring them in the street. But we did it as a fundraiser, obviously for Smart Start, and all our funds for this go back into our program, and not our administrative costs, but back into programs that serve our children. Smart Start serving children 0 to 5 and their families. So our goal is getting kids ready for school. And a lot of it goes back into our literacy programs. As you know, we have several programs where we get books in the hands of kids, and we get parents reading to their kids. And then our parenting programs, working with parents to be the best they could be with their children. So it's a fundraiser, and then also it's a fundraiser. You know, we get out with families and their children. You know, hopefully we have good weather. You know, there's fun things to do. There'll be a big nonprofit section where parents can access information, obviously, and find out what's available for them and their kids. And then there's food. And as you know, when you get food, music, and information together, you have fun. It's just simply that. And it's an opportunity for Henderson families to get out on the day and bring their children and see something probably one of a kind, you know, before the day's up. And then, of course, you might even win a prize. You never know. So it's a good family day. And, you know, it's in downtown Henderson, which I can only speak positive things about, having grown up there and having worked on the DDC prior to the city council. So I want to see my town grow, and this is one of the events that, you know, Smart Start's proud to be a part of. And we thank the city of Henderson for all their help doing this. Firemen are out there helping us with this, get the water and stuff done. You know, the police are there for obvious reasons. Public Works helps us get streets closed. And without the city of Henderson's assistance and some of our sponsors and others, you know, we couldn't put this on.
Absolutely love it. Well, Mr. Gary Daeke, how can our listeners and the people listening back to the podcast by way of nextdoorradio.com and the mobile app available by the Google and Apple stores, how can they get a hold of you? Shoot you an email, social media accounts, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways, but you can always use the phone line. I'm at 252-433-9110. That's Smart Start. We're in the book. Best way to get in touch and also buy tickets is just go to our webpage. We're FGV, which stands for Franklin Graham Advance. We're FGVSmartStart.org. And as soon as you come to our page, right there, registration for tickets and some nice pictures of the Ducky Derby you can click on. And there's a QR code that you can use on our flyers out there to take you to our webpage. But on our webpage, you can go right there and purchase tickets. It's $5 for a duck, for a ticket for a duck. You get the Quack Pack, which is where you get the extra ticket at $20. You get 5 for 20. And then actually we all have bags of tickets we sell. If we sell a whole bag, we call it selling a whole flock. So $5 for a duck. Go to our webpage, FGVSmartStart.org. And you can get tickets there. Any of our staff or board members in the community carry tickets too. So we're out and about selling them, and you can come to our webpage and buy them there.
Well, tell Miss Williams and them and the gang I said hello. Appreciate
them
very much.
Yes.
But, hey, God bless you, my friend. Always good to talk to you. So good to hear that Vance County is thriving, ready to rock and roll with this S-Line. I wish you best of luck, okay?
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. See ya.